right, hi everyone, my name is Laura and I'm out here with the Great Kids Farm goats today. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the inherited traits that the goats pass on from one generation to another. So we have a few goat families on our farm, and you can see that the goats all exhibit different traits. They have fur, they have eyes, some of the goats have horns, others do not have horns. And all these traits show different variations. You can see that some goats have different fur color from another, they have different eye color. So whether or not a goat has horns will be determined through genetics, through whether or not their parents have horns. And that can be really interesting for a farmer because sometimes farmers don't want the goats to have horns. The goats can hurt themselves. All right, so as we take a look at the goat families today, what do you guys think we're going to see? Do you think
Hey everyone, I'm James from Great Kids Farm, and today we're going to be looking at the goats. So Army is the father of all our baby goats here at the farm. You can see that he has a combination of black and white fur. He has no horns, and he's also got blue eyes. So the mother of Lil Moo and May is Shawnee. She is all black with some white markings. She has blue eyes, and even though right now she doesn't have horns, at some point before we got her, the previous farmer would have had her dehorned, which is a process where you just kind of burn off the horns when they're really small. So she would have had horns, but even though she doesn't have them right now, she has that trait. So this is Little Moo. He's one of Army's sons. You can see that he has black and white fur. He also is polled, so he has no horns, just like his dad. But what's interesting is that he has brown eyes instead of blue eyes. So this is another one of Shawnee's kids. Her name is May. She's got mostly all black fur, but like her mom, she has a couple white spots. Her eyes are that same pretty blue that both her mom and her dad have. But unlike her dad, she has horns. And we did not dehorn her because I don't like dehorning goats. Another one of our moms is Ruby. She's got lots of different colors on her. She's got this reddish brown. She has some white spots, some black spots. Like Shawnee, she would have been born with horns, but the previous farmer dehorned her, and she has brown eyes. Good girl, Ruby. This is Ruby's kid. Her name is Magnolia. You can see, like her mom, she's got a lot of reddish brown, some black, and a lot of white. Maggie, though, has horns, which have been the same trait as her mom, but she has blue eyes instead of brown eyes. So her mom has the brown eyes, but her dad had the blue eyes.
When a goat is born without horns, it's called being polled. Being polled is a dominant trait. Let's denote this with a large capital P. This means having horns is actually a recessive trait. Let's denote this with a little p. Since the female parent goats were all born with horns, we know that they must have two of the recessive alleles for having horns. This is also true of the baby goats with horns. Now a polled goat, one without horns, can either have two of the dominant alleles for being polled or one dominant allele for being polled and one recessive allele for having horns. By looking at the babies, we know that the male parent goat must have both the allele for being polled and the allele for having horns.
We've taken a look at the different goat families on the farm, and what did we notice? What did we observe? So we can see that the goats share similar fur color as the parent goats, and they also exhibit different traits in terms of eye color and whether or not they have horns. So these are really important things for a farmer to consider when they are selecting goats and breeding goats on their farm, because they might actually want a goat with or without horns. And by understanding the goat's genetics, the farmer can better select for traits that they might want in their animals.